Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Napick. Every week we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions, and along the way, get ideas to enhance success in all categories of your life. Successful Living with Bill Napick starts right now. And here's your host, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Napick. Thank you for joining us today. And since our last show, the world has really changed in a massive way in many categories of our lives. So I'm going to bring some things to you today for your consideration. I'm going to ask a question first. We hear so much lately about hand sanitizers, about disinfectant wipes. I'm going to ask the question to you right now, and that is, what if your disinfectant wipe misses a spot? What if your hand sanitizer, will you miss a spot with your hand sanitizer? What if you're exposed to a germ? And I ask those questions because I am not hearing people talking about this on the news. Maybe I've missed a broadcast or two, but I do not hear people talking about what I think should be done internally. We need to have healthy immune systems. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I'm doing, but first, the category of being prepared. So I'm going to call this today, Be Prepared and Be Healthy as much as you can. I understand there's people there listening that have underlying conditions, but we all have the opportunity somewhat to live a healthy lifestyle. So once again, be prepared, be healthy. Covering quickly, being prepared. We should always have tons of water at our house. We should always have a good stockpile, in my opinion. So yes, have a good stockpile based on your family size. Have the cases of water ready in case of an unknown event. Here we are in the virus event. We have flooding here in Houston. Who knows what else can happen? Water. Paper products. Yes, we need paper products, no doubt about it. The other thing I would mention to you are plastic bags, those Ziploc bags. I didn't know how important they were until I was evacuated from my home in Hurricane Harvey. Fortunately, I had some plastic bags. They helped protect my phone. In fact, I evacuated the home while it was raining, so the plastic bags are now something I like to keep in stock. So consider that, plastic bags. So that's the be prepared part in terms of having certain items. Being healthy. Once again, I don't believe on the news they're talking enough about what we can do internally and only relying on these sanitizers and sprays and things like that. I think internally we need to be strong. Yes, we can use these things, no doubt. They're helpful. But three categories here I'll mention to you. Things that I have done prior to coronavirus, and now I am modifying it a little bit, and I'll tell you about that as we go. But first of all, supplements. Three categories. The first one is supplements. Every day, I think it's a good idea. Now, I will give you the disclaimer. I'm not a doctor or a scientist or a nutritionist, but I take a multivitamin every day. I think that's a good idea. Number two, I take vitamin C every day. I think that also has great properties. Years ago, I get an annual physical, and one of my physicals, the doctor said, you're a little low on your vitamin D. So I've been taking vitamin D. That's supposed to have immune properties. So now I take vitamin D. In addition, I'm going to give you this term, see if you know what it is. That is Russian penicillin. What is Russian penicillin? This is a good thing to have. Russian penicillin is garlic. Garlic cloves are great to take. Garlic tablets, I believe, are good. In fact, it got the name Russian penicillin years ago where penicillin was in short supply, and they realized the healing properties of garlic, thus the term. Little trivia for you there, but long story short, now, I haven't been taking garlic tablets until this coronavirus outbreak, so now I take them from time to time. Like I said, I've always taken vitamin C, but now if I'm at an event with a bunch of people, I'll take a little extra vitamin C. Those are the supplements, basically, that I take. For breakfast, I guess I eat healthy at breakfast more than any other meal, but at breakfast I have a smoothie, a shake, whatever you want to call it. I'll mix almond milk with one of those protein powders. I get it at Costco. I alternate between two. One is a vanilla that has superfoods and protein. Tastes good, has nutrients. I have that as my breakfast. I alternate between another one that has probiotics and superfoods. That's a chocolate flavor. I go back and forth, mix it with almond milk. That's my breakfast. Sometimes I'll eat something else for breakfast, but at least I have those things as my base until lunchtime. That's a great thing. The other thing I've tried lately is orange juice, and then I mix that with pineapple. I'll put it in a blender with frozen pineapple chunks, and it's a very refreshing, I would say that's a vitamin C infusion, but that's really, really good. There you go. Now, here's something. Going back to the hand sanitizers and things like that, what's the ingredient that works in those, or they say that works? It's alcohol. I think those sanitizers have 60% or so of alcohol. So if we're going to wash our bodies and our surfaces on the outside to kill germs, wouldn't it seem that we need to look on the inside? And I think a glass of wine every now and then is a good thing. And I would guess, I'm not a doctor, I have no evidence of this, be forewarned there, but I believe a glass of wine, that alcohol and the other ingredients in wine are good for you internally, and it's a delicious drink. There you go. Those are the supplements. So that's category number 1, supplements. As far as nutrition, I'm fortunate. I have no underlying conditions. My weight is just right. I work at keeping my weight just right. So those are the two things. As far as food, I'm not, as I said, a vegetarian. I'll eat pretty much what I want. I probably should eat a healthier diet, and I'd be in even better shape. So having said that, there's the supplements. There's the nutrition portion of these considerations today. Number 2, physical fitness. I don't hear anyone talking about go out there and get some exercise to keep your body right, to keep your immune system up. So if you're listening, and let's say you have a few extra pounds, now is a great time, and you'll get even greater benefits by going out there and starting to exercise if you are able. For me, I find that walking, and for decades I've been walking several miles a day, and I'll tell you the benefits are huge. I don't spend hours a day at a gym. Instead, I walk. And now maybe someday I retire and I have more time, I'll go to the gym and really spend some extra time. But for now, walking several miles a day is working really good, and it has so many benefits. So I would encourage you, walk, move. Maybe you have a pool, you like to swim, all the better. Maybe you're able to work in the gym for a couple hours. That's great too. But minimal, I think by doing little things every day, they add up in a major way, and they can help get you through this virus. And also, outside of the virus, like I said, it gives you a healthy life. So there you go, walk. Now, I noticed back in 2019 or before 2019, I thought I'm not doing anything for my upper body, so I started doing push-ups. 10 push-ups per day since January 1, 2019. Now, I may have missed a few days, but from then till now, that's over 4,000 push-ups. Moral of the story is a little bit goes a long way. Can I do more than 10 push-ups a day? Yes. Do I like to? No. That's an easy goal for me to reach, and quite frankly, the 10 push-ups I do not enjoy. I enjoy walking, but I do not enjoy doing the push-ups, even though it's only 10. For some reason, I don't like doing them, but I do them, and I believe I'm better off for it. My muscle tone is better in the upper body, and that certainly helps. In addition, once in a while, I will cycle 5 to 10 miles. That's a good thing, a good stress reliever as well. So physical fitness, little bit of physical fitness is just great. Some people don't do it because, I don't want to join a gym. You don't have to do any of that. You have to move. Years ago when I traveled, I would go to other cities, and when I was there, if it was a new place that I've not been, I would look around that night before to see where I would walk in the morning. So every morning, and I like to do my exercise in the morning. Every morning I would look for a place to walk. I would walk. If it were raining or snowing, I couldn't go out, I would jog in place at the TV just to get moving. So that is, I just think it's so important. If you don't have a physical fitness, if you don't walk every day, one of the best, easiest things that you could do, try it, you'll like it, super benefits. Builds the immune system. Physical fitness, I'm going to go out on a limb, not being a doctor, and say they're not talking about it on TV, at least what I've seen. Get some physical fitness going right now. Get through this virus. It'll help you after the virus, before, and all those things. So there you go. the physical fitness. What about the mind? 3 categories. Once again, we got our supplements, we got the physical fitness, the physical moving. We'll call that moving also. But number 3, we got to keep our mind right. If you ever seen the movie Cool Hand Luke or heard the quote, he says, you got to get your mind right. I believe that's important. Going back to walking just for a second, walking helps keep my mind right. As I walk, I get ideas, I can plan, I can fine-tune plans, I get creative ideas that I write down when I get back to the house. Walking is super, super important, and it helps keep the mind right, as does other exercise. Joggers, I guess they like that. That puts them in a mental state. But there's something about when we walk, at least when I walk, that it just clears the mind. The mind works in a certain way. In fact, a lot of meetings, a lot of successful people get together, and what do? They walk and talk about a plan, talk about a business proposal. That's just a good thing. So that helps keep the mind right, as does other physical fitness. De-stressing. Here we are, highest anxiety levels as far as national news and not just the coronavirus, but even politics has had its share of high anxiety prior to this virus. It's been overshadowed a bit, but it won't go away. The politics will last longer than the coronavirus is my estimate as far as anxiety and troubles, but that's another show. So we want to keep the stress levels down. Now, years ago, with this news around us, certainly if we watch the news, we can get highly stressed as we think about all the stuff going on right now. Years ago, over 5 years ago, I stopped the cable. I canceled cable when Netflix came on the scene. There's tons of content on Netflix, on Amazon Prime. I enjoy that. I don't enjoy commercials. They're annoying to me. I find really no benefit in them. Even the Super Bowl commercials, the entertainment quality is minimal. I just think they're annoying. They interrupt whatever I'm watching. So I avoid them. That's the other reason I stopped the cable. However, that said, it was probably a mistake, but I got a digital antenna thinking I'm missing out on local news, national news. So I got the antenna, and so now I tune into the 3 major stations. And if you notice, I'll watch the 7 a.m. here in Houston, the broadcast of the morning news, the NBC, ABC, and CBS. I'll watch those, but I'll watch them for 18 minutes. I don't want more than that, even though those shows run for 3 hours. Pretty much those shows give you 18 minutes of content or so, and then from then on, for the rest of the hours they run, you are deluged with commercials. The first 18 minutes, solid content, except for the Today Show. So when Al Roker does his newscast or his weather forecast, he'll say, and in the next 30 seconds, we'll tell you what's going on in your neck of the woods. Yeah, so even that 18 minutes is tarnished by a commercial rudely put in there after Al Roker's weather. I don't like that. I guess you got that message. Now, the other 2 stations don't do it. But then go back to after those 18 minutes on all those shows, they run a segment of content, 5 commercials or 10, another segment. So they just weave those commercials in for the rest of the duration of the show, and that is just annoying. Now, if you have time to sit around and be hypnotized and sucked into that, and I think that's what happens. Sometimes people don't even know that they're sitting in front of the TV because these things just draw them in. Too much news is too much news is too much stress. So I say, hey, watch the news, see what you need to know, and then move on. Be productive. Don't sit around, especially people that work at home. I know a person that has the TV on all the time on these cable news stations. It's running all the time. To me, the stress level is just no good, no how. I don't like that. Keep the stress level low. The other thing I do once a week at least, I'll take an afternoon nap on Sunday. I think the value of the afternoon nap is just incredible. I'll go not a power nap, which is defined, I think, by a short span of time, 20 minutes or so. No, I'll take an hour and a half nap, and that is just super. It makes me feel good. I do that on Sunday. I think it's, especially in these times of anxiety, I think that's a very helpful thing, a de-stressor. If you're able to take a nap any other time, good for you. So that's what I do. Take a nap it helps. It helps relax. Have some quiet time in your life. Turn off all the stuff. Relax, think, contemplate, watch a fire. Even when you're walking, that's good. Sit outside on your deck if you have a deck or somewhere, and just, if you live in a high rise, I think it's fun to look out the window, de-stress, and look at the world go around. You need to do that for some length of time. Also, at the end of the evening, what I do, going back to Netflix and entertainment, I think entertainment serves a tremendous purpose. So for me to distress at the end of the evening, I'll watch something on Netflix or Amazon Prime, a movie, part of a movie. I'll watch a series that I might be enjoying. And that's also where the glass of wine may come in. I might have a glass of wine while I'm doing that. The other thing that's very good to do as a de-stressor is to read. Readers are leaders. Readers, it just helps you when you read. It helps you de-stress. It helps you learn so many great things when we read. I like to have a novel, a fictional novel. I like to have a business book that I'm reading. I think those are great things for all of us. So if you haven't practiced reading lately, it's a good time. That's also a good time to have all the electronic stuff turned off and just read away. That is helpful, a super de-stressor. As I talk about novels, as I talk about stories, can you imagine what has happened? Here we are. If the year 2020 were a novel, even though a lot of it, at least on the front end, has been bad news, man, this is a page turner. Every time we go to sleep and wake up, there's another major news thing or there's another development. This 2020 is totally a page turner if it were a novel. We want to know what happens next. So, in the idea of keeping our mind right, I encourage you to relax a little bit. Don't marinate yourself in the news. Be informed, be smart, be prepared, be healthy, have that relaxing time, encourage your family, have that positive attitude. Also, I think it's a good idea as we think about opportunities during this challenging time. There'll be other challenging times. We're going to get through this one as well, but it's a good opportunity. Think of what we've learned from this. What have we learned from this in all these categories? From the category of being prepared as far as items, were we caught short? Maybe we didn't have enough water already in stock. I always have a lot of water at the house. But what were we caught short with? What have we learned? Write that down. The other idea, some of us are going to be at home a lot more. We may have free time. Some of us may lose a lot more money other than the stock market in terms of our jobs because of this and have time. That's going to be trying times, but this is an opportunity to sit, take stock, think about if you're not doing what you want to do as far as your profession, take stock and think about where you want to go. Make your plan. Make a concentrated plan of where you want to go, a strategic, a systematic plan. This is a good opportunity. If you have that extra time and you're at home and you want to learn from this and benefit from this, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be writing notes down of also even looking at the stock market, looking at what goes on financially, why some things are hurt more than others. It's just a great educational time. Also, if you're at home a lot more these next coming days, it's an opportunity maybe to straighten up the house, fix a few things up, make some plans, declutter the mind as well. Get some lawn work done if you have a house. I'm sure there's a few things around that you could busy yourself. And at the end of all this, hopefully the stock market will go back up. And on that word of the stock market, we all have some money probably tied to the stock market. Myself, I have some mutual funds and a few certain stocks. They're all deflated in massive ways. My plan in this time as far as the stock market, and I'm not here to give you financial advice, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not going to buy and I'm not going to sell. When I don't know what to do, I'll do nothing in the financial world. I'm going to stay put and ride out the storm. But I'm going to observe and see what goes on, so maybe I will learn in the future. So this is a good time to have some life lessons, some health lessons, some financial lessons that are here to learn. So that's going to be If we use this time valuably, we're going to be better next year at this time and even a few months from now. Learn from this experience, because even though it is disastrous in so many ways, it is a very, very unique learning experience, because this has never happened. Even the things that have happened in the stock market, some of the things that have happened to the markets haven't happened before. We're seeing politicians react in ways that we've never seen before. We see them challenged in ways that they've never been before. We see business owners challenged in ways they have never been challenged before. My point being, by observing, and if you are a business owner, you're learning as well, but we're seeing things we've never seen before. Thus, these are great learning experiences. Watch what people do, how they handle this, and learn from that, so that you can be successful in your own life. And that's what we do here on this radio show. We learn from others even when they're in challenging times. And all of us are in challenging times right now, some more than others. So I would encourage you, stay strong, stay relaxed as much as possible, stay sharp, certainly stay informed. Do not marinate in the news. It's just not a good thing, in my opinion. And you have been listening to Successful Living with Bill Napick, a special Be Prepared, Be Healthy event, or healthy show. I hope some of this has been helpful. If you're doing any of this, way to go. If I've encouraged just one person to do some exercise, I'm going to tell you the benefits are going to go long beyond. They're going to help you on the inside of your body through this virus, but they have long-lasting effects. Certainly, you can go to my website, radiobill.net, for past shows. If you have any comments, you can go to radiobill.net and find my email. Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Put radio in the subject line so I know what's going on there. And until next week, simply the website is radiobill.net. I wish you all the best. We're going to all get through this. Use this as a learning experience. Use this as a time to create new habits in terms of health, maybe nutrition, all those things. Wishing you the best. Bill Napick, Successful Living with Bill Napick. We'll see you next week. RadioBill.net.